Teachers, what's the weirdest thing you've had to take away from a student? By Ask Reddit. There was a boy in my 7th grade class that wasn't allowed to have coins because he'd eat them. Jingle 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 jingle.
Him taking a dump must have sounded like a slot machine paying out.
Christmas ornaments. They were throwing them at each other and it eventually caused a fight. Next to that would be a curtain rod. He found it and kept hitting people with it.
BONK.
A kid brought blue Gatorade in a Windex bottle to lunch on April Fool's Day and we had to take it so younger kids wouldn't think it was real.
Better than my friend who always had a bottle of mouthwash that was actually just vodka with food coloring. Then in college there was the girl with the Starbucks cup of wine.
Not a teacher, but my 3rd grade teacher had to confiscate a dead rat from a kid in my class. I to this day have no idea where the kid got it from. Live rats are hard to catch. Dead rats not so much.
A wine cooler that looked like a Capri Sundae. This was a 2nd grader and she was just getting ready to drink it.
Meanwhile mom is just sneak sipping on a Capri Sun at work when reality hits her. Flushed face.
I saw a tweet like 2 years ago saying someone's dad was drinking a White Claw every day on his way into work because he thought it was another seltzer brand like LaCroix.
Growing up I used to think Mike's Hard Lemonade was a really Baileys lemonade.
2nd grade is stressing, she had to take the edge off. Edit, thanks, my first awards. Cheers.
She is very small, and has no money. So you can imagine the stress she is under.
A flavored condom? From a kindergartner. This little boy comes into music class, at 1 p.m. or so, and he's been at school since 9 o'clock, and says to me, "Look. I have a candy." And holds up a wrapped strawberry flavored condom. Trying to cause a scene, I tell him, "Remember, we are not going to eat in music class because it's hard to sing with candy in our mouths." I pointed out the pocket on his jean jacket with a snap button closure and tell him to put it in there, making a mental note to tell teacher later. I always try to avoid losing control of a room of 20 and 5/6-year-olds. Kid puts condom in his pocket, and I start music class. Later on, I see him putting something in his mouth. "Put that back in your pocket for after school" or something to that effect. Pretty sure food is scarce at home, to taking it away would have been a huge scene. Teacher comes at the end of the half-hour lesson and I discreetly tell her what's going on and she says she'll handle it. Great. After school, the middle-aged, male school counselor comes up to me and says, "Thanks to you I've been walking around an elementary school all afternoon with a flavored condom in my pocket." Sorry, not sorry.
Why would he keep it in his pocket, lol?
Because it's less weird than putting it on.
Less likely to be caught with it on though.
Instant pudding? My student was mixing it in a large Cool Whip container, using milk from lunch, right in the middle of a lesson on Macbeth.
They were making their own witch's brew.
Ziploc bags filled with water. That was a trend for a while at my school. Kids would claim they needed it in case they got thirsty, but usually would just try to pop them in each other's laps during class.
That is a very schoolboy thing, actually holding the thing that can F you up for the sake of the game.
My best friend and I would sit in my tree fort and place Ziploc bags filled with water in the tree branches above us. Then, taking turns, we would each shoot the bags with a pellet gun, intending to place the shot just right, so the water would come pouring on the other. Mom put a stop to it after we demolished the first box and were starting on our second. Dad thought it was effing funny though.
I'm not gonna lie, this sounds super fun.
Former teacher here. Wasn't part of the initial apprehension but was part of the follow-up investigation. Weirdest thing was a bag of turtles. Yep. Kid caught a bunch of the little salmonella-filled red-eared sliders at a local pond on his way to school one day. We had a turtle black market at the school by noon, and by the end of the day the principal had a dozen in a bowl in his office. Kid got caught because a terrible smell was reported from his locker. Janitor opened it up and there was a bag of turtles. The rest of the day was spent tracking down the ones that had already been sold.
The way this is written definitely makes it sound like the principal had bought turtles from this black market.
You're in big trouble, young man, unless you cut me in. Chef's knife stuffed in the waistband of his sweatpants, no underwear, during a snowstorm.
In case he was attacked by a polar bear.
I don't recall exactly, but that very well might have been it. Seriously.
Alaska.
No. Colorado. Not real polar bears. This student, I don't remember his exact DSM diagnosis. I don't think it was schizophrenic. I can't recall. He was almost always really nice and a gentle soul, albeit he'd say weird things. On rare occasions he would show a little different side. That morning was him showing one of those different sides.
My sister's teacher had to call my dad about a suspicious powder my sister was eating out of a bag at school. She was dipping her finger in a bag of powdered jello and eating it and letting other kids do the same.
In a somewhat similar vein, a dumb trend went around my school that consisted of kids violently snorting dip-dab powder, sherbet, then proceeding to scream in pain when they had a nosebleed and forward slash or pretend they were high. This was an all-girls school. Don't ever let the boys' cool girls boring memes fool you. We also do dumb poo.
A giant head of lettuce that just suddenly appeared on his desk. Where did he get it?
Are you sure it wasn't a cabbage? Because I might know where he got it from.
My cabbages.
I have been on Reddit for many years and have never noticed people hollering my cabbages everywhere up until 8 months ago, when my friend made me watch Adler. Now I see it everywhere, and, if I don't see it, I post it.
Panties. They had fallen out of a girl's gym bag in the previous class. When I came in the room after standing duty in the hall, 3 boys were flinging them back and forth across the room. Never a dull moment.
Am I the weird one for not changing underwear for gym class? I know my only pair of boxers at school were the ones I was wearing.
In addition to the comments about sweaty underwear, there always is the chance that periods might start unexpectedly or just make a mess if your flow is heavier than expected. Extra underwear isn't super uncommon for a girl to have at school.
I don't know why I never thought to do this. Apparently I like to gamble.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.